Hello, Dusty.
Hi, Alan. Nice to see you.
Dusty, tell us your full name and when you joined the club.
Okay, well, my legal name is Dorian Nicol, but the Dorian is for bankers, lawyers, and other thieves. I'm Dusty. I joined the club. It was autumn of 1994. I got interested in base swimming. I wanted to swim in Alcatraz, and like anybody who didn't know better, I knocked on the door of the Dolphin Club, and nobody answered. I could hear people moving around in there, but nobody came to the door. Then I saw this red and white building and thought, well, what's that? Rowing club. Maybe they swim there. I knocked on the door, and I look back on that as the moment in time that my life changed and was never the same again. I knocked on the door of the South End Rowing Club. Bob Roper opened the door for me.
Wow.
Looked me up and down. He shook my head and said, what can I do for you? And I said, I'd like to swim. He said, come on in. And he showed me where I could change. I went for a swim. And when I got out of the water, he said, what'd you think? And I said, I love it. And he said, you want to join the club? And I said, yeah. Well, classic Bob, before he gave me an application to join the South End Rowing Club, he invited me to give him $5 so that he could give me a sunriser schedule for the month. So I can honestly say I was a sunriser before I was a member of the South End Rowing Club. The next day I came back, I swam again, I saw Bob, and he came up in the sauna with me. And it's one of these great memories I have. He took me into the sauna and he introduced me to his friends that were sitting there. And those were George Farnsworth and Kevin Coughlin and Tom Rice and Father Tom DeLay. And I told Bob later I wanted to remember their names. And he wrote on the back of in those days, of course, when you joined the club, you got a membership card. And on the back of my membership card, he wrote those names down for me. And that remains a prized possession for me. Now, over the years, that was, 20-some, 94. It's been 30 years, almost 30 years since I joined. I always like to think I'm good with words. I can't really put into words what this club means to me. It's a major part of my life. It always will be a major part of my life. Today is the first day I've been back in 3 years because of the pandemic and too many surgeries in the last year and other stuff I've had to go through. I haven't been here in a while. Within 5 minutes of being back, I felt like I'd never left. It's just like being home. The friends I've made here, starting with Bob Roper, that is the best friend I've had in my life. He saved my life in more ways than one. You, Alan, you've always been there. I remember you when you didn't have any gray hair, and I didn't have so much gray hair either. It's a magical place. I remember when I first joined, I idolized the old timers, and somehow I blinked, and now I'm one of the old timers. And I just hope that all of us are able to do honor to what this club means, and most importantly, I hope we can teach the new members what this club is and have them. I know everyone appreciates it, but along with the appreciation, I think comes a responsibility to behave in a certain way, to be generous with our hearts and our time and our ambitions. And so I just hope everyone learns, and I'll really just end this by saying to the club, thank you. You've given me more than I could ever possibly give back in return. I love this place. I love everyone in it. And happy 150, and here's to 150 more.
Dusty, do you think people ever find love at the South End?
Well, that sounds like the title for a great TV show or something, some takeoff on love. But, well, you know what, Alan? I did. I've made so many dear friends at the South End Rowing Club, but the most special friendship out of it, of course, was Karen Rogers, whom I always have believed that Karen and I were destined to have met anyway, but we met at the South End. Bob Roper introduced us. He told Karen back before she met me that she had to come to San Francisco and meet his best friend, Dusty. And Karen said, who's Dusty? And Bob said, you got to meet him. And we met, and at the time, of course, we both had other lives, but eventually the planet made enough orbits around the sun, and our time came, and we got together, and I owe that to Bob Roper, to our dear friend Trudy Molina, who first convinced Karen to join the South End Rowing Club, And so, yeah, one can find love at the South End, and I was lucky enough to.
Thank you.